Hello, Randy Rain here. It is time to restore one of these robots that I've been dreading and putting off. It's the Robie Bank. This is...
Randy Robot Garage.
Yeah, I must admit, I've had one of these halfway apart and I just put it right back together and put it right back up on the shelf. See, this is a TOMY robot. TOMY makes these. They're also called Mr. Money as well, but these are the Radio Shack versions, so they're called Robie Banks. Now, TOMY robots are usually built the same way. They kind of have a flow to them. So yeah, these break all the rules and you'll see what I mean. So now on one of these, I'm missing the battery door down here. I have it on this one so I can copy it and make one for this one. Now one of these, I don't know which one, when you put a battery into it, yeah, it kind of works. It does the tongue, and a little bit of a movement here on the head. Kinda. It's supposed to be clicking back and forth now, but that's not working correctly, and it never turns off. And the switch doesn't do a bit of good. So, big problem with that one. Now over here, the one that I have the battery door for, I put the battery in it. It doesn't do anything. So now that one's completely dead. Now most TOMY robots, you turn it over at the bottom and you start undoing the screws, and that's how you get into it. So here there's 2 screws, so I'll start undoing this one. So there we go. All it does is take this foot off. Okay, that's it. So that does nothing to get inside of this robot. So I can go ahead and put this right back on. Nope. To get inside this robot, you got to start with his head. So right off the bat, there's the difference between every other robot. Now how to get into it is right back here. That's what this slot is. You gotta push that up, work your way around either side, and then lift up like this. And that's how you get into this thing. And now there are 3 screws here. So there's the top, and then you have the eyes here. This moves here. There's actually a little pin back here. Pop this pin off and undo this screw. You can take this section off. And so here's the tongue. It just spins right here to make it go. And you can get into here by taking these 2 off. And the tongue comes out like that. Now, you ready for this? There is tape. You see it down in there? There's tape holding these 2 pieces together. See what I mean? I saw this and I'm like, what in the world is going on with this thing? And I just put it back together. So, this is as far as I got. Now I have a really neat little thing here. It's like pushing up different levers. I guess one's the mouth, one's the eyes. This is for the tongue here. But I guess what you do at this point is take these screws out down in here. These are the only ones I can see that you can get to. Oh, maybe you have to take the feet off for it to be able to move open. No. Uh-huh. And there's the tape. Alright, well, okay. I guess you do have to take the feet off. Okay, so here's the piece that the arm was connected to. And so as you push down on the arm, I knew that piece would come out there. It's connecting these two to make the switch activate. Also doing something here, pushing that down. Okay, it's obviously coming off of here now. Alright, it's time to get the soldering iron. See what's in this thing. Alright, so before I pull it off of here, you can see on the bottom here, there's these two nubs. Well, that's what this thing sits on, so it's it'll teeter-totter. And you can also see that the bottom, it's not flat, it arcs. So you have these little nubs here, and it arcs, so it wobbles back and forth. It has these little pegs, little feet things that stick out here, and those is what makes it wobble. And those are connected right here, so when I take this off, you can see this is the little feet that stick out there. And this is what makes them wobble. And there's this thing right here with these weird little just sections of gear. That's this noise maker, so that's what's making the noise. This is kind of weird though. I don't know if something is pushing on this or it's just like that. Anyway, that's the noise maker. And then this little offset thing here is what makes this start wiggling back and forth. So you can see the wire comes up to the top of this. That's the positive. It's also coming all the way over to here to something. But then it's also going down to the switch. Through the switch, it comes up to here on the other side of this switch to start the thing. And it also goes all the way to here. Then in the motor's here, so then there's negative. I don't know, yeah, there's something stuck in there that's making it stay on. Looks like there's several layers here. So I'm going to start by taking this one right here, and this one right here. Nope, it's still attached there, it looks like. And looks like there as well. Okay. Okay, all screws are out. So yeah, it looks like there's layers. So this should be the top layer here. Okay, so this thing's gonna spin, and as it does, it's gonna push these things. This is a weird little device here. So yeah, there's these little lifter arms here. So there's one. That's the top one. There's two. So there's this thing here. That's goes to the front. That's the one here. And then this is what does the tongue. And it looks like that pops right out. And you have a... Well, that's interesting. You have a little piece of metal there. And then a little nub here. And so it catches on there, but if there's any force to it, it'll just pass it. Because all this does is make the tongue go in and out. So that's how that comes out. I don't get the spring system here. I don't know what that's doing. Guess it's just to keep it from breaking. We have a tab right here. Pop that tab. Like that. And this tab that went back down. Get back out. There we go. Okay. Got a spring here. Alright, I've given a good look over and I understand what's going on here and I don't see a problem. So start with the motor here. Take the motor out. You can see it has this worm drive and it's fine. There's no cracks or anything like that. So what it does is it turns this gear. It looks like it's been twisted from the worm gear. Oh no. Yeah. So the worm gear turns that gear. This gear turns this gear. So we're going from this worm drive to here, this small one to this big one. We're reducing down in speed. And then this one is connected to this one here. Underneath here it has a smaller one. You can see how long it is. And that's because this gear goes up and down. So it's always connected up here to this gear right here. But as this gear goes down, it connects down to this gear. And I'll show you what this arm does. But let's go all the way down here. You can see this one's on a spring. And it's going to connect down here. Or something, I don't know. This one's interesting. I'm not sure, but it does move up and down. But also, this little guy moves up and down. If I take this out, it has all kinds of little lift wedges. But anyway, what it does is, as this one turns down here, it lifts up. And then it drops back down. So this thing is lifting up and dropping back down. So as it spins, it's going up and down. So you can see it drop down. And the other little ridges and bumps things on there is for this thing. So this sets in here like this. So as it starts spinning, boom, there it moves it up. There it does some clicking, and then it drops back down. So you have this gear sticking out. That's that big gear right here. It's going to turn this thing. This thing has little ramps on it that pushes this down. So the programming is in here. And you can see that there's some other little gears here and a little bump here that's going to be activating other things. Okay, so the only thing on there right now that this thing is going to activate is that. But there's all kinds of little cams and stuff going on here. So that there was these pieces here. They went like this. So yeah, this little camming system here is going to activate these different guys right here. And then there's these little gears, just a little bit of row of gears right here. That's what's going to be turning the tongue. Now there's this guy too, it goes in there. So maybe that little notch right there activates this thing. Okay, so this went like that. And this one is there. So the gearbox is all back together and it works just fine. So here's everything it does when you just turn the motor on. So the motor activates that, activates that big wheel back here, and that's the programming. And it makes this thing come up, makes each one of these three things pop up, makes this spin, and it also connects, it opens and closes this switch right here. So that piece of metal's coming right here, and that big wheel will push it to touch this one or not touch that one. And then back here you have this thing that's spinning and making this clicking noise. So let's have a look at it all together. So spin there, spin here, these do that. Alright. Alright, so I got a flat surface out. And notice it has to have a battery door down here. Otherwise, it doesn't sit right, so these things don't activate. So now with the other one, with it not turning on, I put it in demo mode, so it should stay on. Now, with it not coming on, sounds to me like it's the motor is all oxidized. So yeah, for this motor, put 3 volts of electricity onto it. And it's going now. Take some WD-40. Oh yeah, so you can screw these 2 screws in. That helps a lot, so that can get your wires all in the right spot. Let's see, this goes right there. It's time to recreate this battery door. Now I'm going to be making a squeeze mold. Alright, time to have a little look-see. So it's really not that complicated, and I kind of understand why it was made the way it is now. You have to realize that they made everything so thin so that there can be room for money to be inside this thing. They had a limited amount of space, so that's the reason for the construction of it. So look at the battery doors. You can't even hardly tell which one's which. But the only way to tell the difference is by feel. You can feel that they are kind of different plastics. I do notice that they are two different colors. This one's a very, very more yellowish color. This one's kind of a more paler banana color. So I'm going to get rid of one of these. I only need one, so I'm going to go ahead and sell one of these. And I've thought about it. Which one do I sell? Do I sell the complete one or the restored one? And for me, I don't mind one bit keeping the restored one. But then I thought, well, maybe somebody might want the restored one restored by me. And then I thought, well, you know what? Most of them, if I sell these, and I plan on selling a few of my duplicate robots, then they're going to be getting some that are been restored by me. So I might as well sell the one that's been restored by me. Now I'm going to keep the darker colored yellow one because that was the original one. And I'm going to sell this one here, even though this one works a little bit better. You don't have to hold down the arm as long to get past that kill switch as you do with this one. You see these things on eBay all the time, so go ahead and grab them. They're not that hard to fix. Anyway, I want to thank you very much for watching. I want to thank these people right here. These are patrons. These are people helping me out. Please, if you want to become a patron, check out the link below as the other links, because I've just started a new store, Randi's Robot Garage Store, and it's at robotrefurb.com. Now, I have no idea what state it's going to be when you see this video, but check it out. I'm working on it. And also, check out the link below for the eBay of this bank right here. So anyway, thanks again for watching. See you in the next video. That was
Robot Garage.
Yeah, you can see this metal piece is bent here. Yeah, that's just a safety thing, so in case something gets forced, it doesn't break. So I'm going to have to fix that. I'll do that later.